Hello, I am Nick Richards, the Renegade Trucker, and this is Trucking Business Insider. Today, we're going to talk about what is the most important thing you can do as a business owner. What is the most important thing you can do as a business owner, as an entrepreneur? That is, educate yourself. If you don't have the education, you have nothing. It doesn't matter how hard it is you're willing to work. If you don't have knowledge, you have nothing. Work ethic is important. It is almost everything. But if you're going to get anywhere, you have to have knowledge. And as truck drivers, if you're a company driver right now, you're an owner-operator, you're going down the road, what you have is a lot of time on your hands. And what I'm going to recommend to you, and by the way, I am not being paid for this. This is just because I think it's a good product, it's a good service. I want you guys to check it out. And that is, on my phone, we have the Audible app, and I will let you guys see that there. Audible app, awesome thing. And I'm going to show you guys this. I'm going to hold this up to the camera here. We're going to get in close. Look at all of the, this is all the books I've done in just the last few months. Book after book after book. Business, success, wealth building, finance. It's all in there. It's everything I've been listening to. I've been going down the road packing my head full of all this information because I want to be the absolute best that I can be. And I have turned my truck into a mobile classroom. Now, what I've been able to do with this, with my cell phone, I have a Bluetooth-enabled stereo in the truck. And what that allows me to do is I take the stereo, I link it to the phone, I play my audiobooks through the stereo, and that allows me to listen to them going down the road. Right now, Twitter's blowing up. I did a photo shoot today. Everybody's loving the pictures. Trey, that was a really nice truck, by the way. And so, as it comes down to what you need to know in business, though, you need to understand your money, you need to understand finance, you need to understand business, you need to understand the legal environment of business. And so that's why education is the most important thing you can do. You need to learn every aspect of your business. And I've always said that to be an entrepreneur, you need to become an expert at becoming an expert. You need to be able to sit down and learn and read about anything that's important to you, anything that's important to your business. You need to be able to learn about it, understand it, digest that information so as that you can make informed choices and decisions. Sometimes those decisions won't always be right, but the more knowledge you have on the subject, the better they'll be. I've made plenty of mistakes in business. I understand that. The videos I make here, we're talking about a lot of the mistakes that I've made over the years. And I'm passing that off to you guys so that you can understand that. And so it's just all about understanding where you're at in your business, and the more information you have, the better. Because there's a saying that goes, there's perception and then there's reality. And your perception is how you see the world. It's how you experience your life. And then there is what is the real world. And how far apart those things are, that really depends on how successful you will be. Because the better your understanding is of the world and the way things work, the closer your perception will be to reality. The closer your perception is to reality, the more likely you are to make it in business. I'm going to give a great example of this. I know all of us have been out there, at least those of us that have had a CB radio on our trucks, and we've heard about guys going up and down the road going, oh, these brokers, they're just out there screwing the drivers, and everything else. We've all heard that conversation. And I'm going to give you guys the translation of what that conversation is that is someone who had a truck for a while, either still does or did, and they have not made it in the business. And they are blaming their failure on someone else, in this case, namely the brokers. It's something that's very, very common. And are there shady brokers? Absolutely. There are plenty of shady people out there in this industry, as there are in every industry. But what you need to understand is that in the trucking industry, in the trucking business, a lot of the brokers that are out there, they do provide a vital function. They do run a good, solid business. They're not out there to screw people. They're out there to do a good job. And it's educating yourself there is important. Understanding how someone behaves when they're a good broker. Understanding how someone behaves when they're a bad broker. Understanding that, you know what, before you go and put a load on your truck, maybe you should run someone's credit and get some references and do a setup package. Instead of just throwing it on the truck, running the load, and hoping you're going to get paid. These are all the things that make all the difference in the world, and these are the things that a lot of people, they have a hard time figuring out. And that's what I want you guys to understand from this, is you need to educate yourself about these things. Read books on freight brokerages. They're in there. I've done 2 books on freight brokerages because eventually I may open my own freight brokerage. That's something I've considered doing. So I'm going to learn everything that I can about it, and I'm going to learn everything about it in this industry. And no matter what it boils down to, whether you're talking about tires or fuel economy, anything that's there, you need to educate yourself. Doing books about how to win friends and influence people. It's a great book. It's one that I've done several times over. It just teaches you how to talk to people. It teaches you how to listen to people, more importantly. And listening has been one of the greatest skills that I have used over the years in the industry. As I said in the previous video, I was very lucky to have someone teach me how to drive, had a lot of miles behind him. When Gary Prince started teaching me how to drive, I think he had like 4 million miles at the time. And I just followed him around every day that I could get around him, and I listened to everything that he had to say. I digested all this information, and I took it all in, And because of all the information that I learned from him and everything that he shared just through his years of experience, when I got out there in a truck, I was able to hit the ground running. I was able to get out there and do a really good job, and I had a really good education from the get-go. And sure, there were still plenty of things that I learned the hard way, but I was so many miles ahead of everybody else that was starting in the same position I was. It allowed me to move up in the industry really fast. Like I said, I started driving the 24th of September of 2003. I bought my first truck the 15th of December of 2003. So that was just a span of 3 months there, and I was already into this business as an owner-operator. So I came up really fast. I learned very fast. I bought my first trailer, I believe it was August of the year following, so August of 2004. Might have been September, or somewhere in that general time frame. And that's how fast I came into this business. And I had a really nice looking setup there. And I really learned a lot from running. And I made plenty of mistakes too. I've talked about that in a previous video. The mistakes that I've made over the years were how some of that education came. And so the more you can learn the easy way, the faster and the better you're going to do this business. That's plain and simple what it is. So anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this clip here. I want you to please rate, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to ask me questions, put those questions in the comments below, or you can message the channel directly through YouTube. We'll catch you on the next episode.